Good morning. I wanted to remind you of a scripture I read this past Sunday, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. We were reminded Sunday, as we started our new series, that God created us in his image, and we can take pride in that. And even though we look out and we see a fallen, broken world, and in our lives sometimes there's brokenness, that doesn't take away from the fact that God designed in us certain qualities and characteristics, and he gave us certain attributes that if we seek him, they will manifest themselves in us and grow. If we seek sin, then those things will come to life. Those things will take precedence. But yet, God's image is still present within us, even though we might be marred and scarred and broken and bruised at times. Our role is to be God's image bearers. And that is not to just believe in God, but to take up our cross, our calling, to take up the challenge to follow God all the days of our life, to seek after him. And I want to ask you right now, is that something you're doing? Is that something you're fixed on? Is that walk with God, that personal relationship with God, that no matter what else is going on around you, you are kind of like Paul says in 1 Corinthians 15:58, "Be ye therefore steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your toil is not in vain in the Lord." You see, we can stand in the strength of God. We can stand confidently over all the distractions and the discouragement, knowing that we are God's people. We are created in his image to bear good works, to honor him. And I want to ask you, are you continuing to accept the challenge to be his image bearers? You know, this morning I was outside getting ready to do a little gardening, and I was looking for a hose that I had thought we had used last fall in this certain area, and I was just convinced it wasn't there. But I actually looked a little closer and I found it. It was still there. It was still attached. It had been there all winter long. It was just hiding behind something. I hadn't looked close enough. And so this morning I want to ask you, are you really seeking God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength? Are you seeking him while he can be found? Are you longing after him? Are you in such a place that you know no one else or nothing else works to take the place of God? Nothing can, nothing ever will. And all the pursuits we have in life, all the comforts of life, and even some of the troubles in life should all be kept in the eternal perspective. That is, that if we are blessed, we're given things of God for a time and for a season, and to be used for his glory and for some enjoyment. But if we find ourselves in a period of suffering or discouragement or even temptation or testing, we need to know that God allows certain things for our good. While Satan may want to bring about bad, God can use them for our good. If we would just humble ourselves, stay humble before God, and knowing that in all the world, that in all the things that look appealing and look attractive and that have been sold to us as being the things that really we should invest in, our only investment is in a personal relationship with God through Jesus Christ. And it's not one thing to have said, I accepted him a long time ago. But maybe your love has grown cold. Maybe you need to renew that. And just by being honest to God and crying out to him. I'm playing a song in the background. You may or may not be able to hear it. It's called "We Fall Down." And right now, I just pray that you would, right now during this prayer time we're approaching, turn this video off, take some time, and fall down. Fall down on your knees. Fall down in your heart and in your mind. Humble yourselves before God. We need him every single moment of every day. And I'm not trying to oversimplify it. I'm trying to tell you how cruel this life is without God. And we cannot take one single step without him. And so on the beautiful days, give him praise, give him glory. And on the dark cloudy days, on the days when things are hard, just cry out to him and be honest with him. And the God of all comfort will tend to his sheep because he loves us. God bless.